going on, lads? Apparently I'm British today. I just found that out 2 seconds ago, but sup, lads? Let's get into Monster episode 65. Johan just revealed to us that Bonaparte is alive. He's alive, and what that means to us? I don't know. We hypothesized last time a little bit that maybe Johan is going for him and actually wants to unmake his maker. But we don't know that, right? Maybe he wants to control him or get some information out of him or whatever it is, right? At least he wants to get to him. We don't know how Nina plays into that and what Tenma is gonna do, but we know he's gonna be in this episode, so this is gonna be interesting. We're probably gonna build suspense again. See what we can gain out of, like, it's very hard to analyze Johan. Honestly, it just is, because he has so much mystery behind him. Yes, we see glimpses of him every once in a while, and we do know that at the beginning he had different goals than what he has today. Maybe he was more manipulated, more like controlled in the beginning, right? Or let himself be controlled to make people believe he can be controlled. At the very least, he was more like going according to plan in the beginning, and with more time, he broke more rocks loose. He created more chaos, but also brought more stuff under his control and people under his control. And at this point in time, we don't know exactly where or what or whatever, right? Because, I mean, I guess like Roberto is still alive, who is, I think, loyal to Johan and not loyal to anybody, like of like the 4 generals basically, with Chapek and the other ones. Wolf is dead at this point, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, let's see what. I mean, we're not gonna find that out today, but let's see what is at the heart of what Johan wants right now. Maybe we'll find that out, and I'll be glad to see Tenma again. I'll be glad to see Nina again and get an idea of what they are doing, although we already kind of like suspect that they're going after Johan. But what else are they doing? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Somebody's running. Oh, we're gonna recap that, okay. Why are you running? Why are you running? Nice little porch, by the way. It's not really a porch, but you know. He's definitely used to getting his wine served to him, I guess. But yeah, like I said, there was a part missing, right? Like 1 glass of wine was missing out of the bottle. And he didn't realize that. He didn't pay attention.
Johan.
That voice, holy shit, dude. So soft spoken. But still deep, right? A very interesting cadence. Whoever did that class act voice actor.
なぜ赤ん坊を殺した？我々は手を組んだはずだ。お前は我々に力を貸す。我々は妹を探し出してお前に。すべて予定通りです。
Thing is going according to plan. To his plan, right? But not your plan.
妹はお前の思い通りにはならない。いいか、すべては私の計画通りに。僕は何？
What am I?
僕の中の怪物、僕の中じゃなかった。
It's not in, or the monster inside of me isn't inside of me. It's not my fault. That is a very interesting and scary conclusion to come to for him. And from Chopek's reaction, it feels like Johan shouldn't know that. Or either shouldn't know he's alive, or maybe Chopek himself is surprised he's alive, or because like he like got surprised and scared the moment he said Franz Bonaparte, so Johan should probably not know that who Franz Bonaparte is. But who knows, right? That's how I'm reading it. Dieter, I haven't seen you in a hot minute. I mean, good thing, honestly. You should stay way out of this. Johan's footprints. Well, you really think she's here just waiting for you? Y'all have no clue. You all have no idea. Don't focus too hard on him, Nina. I think Johan and Nina have never talked, right? Actually talked. In all these years. One thing I have to say, it's not for every, like, it certainly probably doesn't go for everybody, but I've personally experienced in public spaces and whatnot, or even just like with neighbors and stuff, police are very rude sometimes. Like, incredibly, if they like believe, even if they believe you not to be any criminal whatsoever, but if they believe like a friend of yours to be in some way involved, even if it's just like a very minor thing, right? Or if there's a public space disturbance or whatever, and you're not even involved, right? But police are incredibly rude sometimes, I feel. Right? I don't know where this is coming from, but sometimes I feel like some people within the police force, and that goes for multiple countries, but I can only speak for my own, just think they're better than everybody else, right? And they just think that everybody who's just a normal ass citizen should get the fuck out of their way, right? They're just nuisances, they're like beneath them, right? This is how it feels sometimes. Especially if you're treated like that, right? These people, they're just like normal people. Obviously, they're doing their like, they should get out of the way for the search because they have a warrant and whatever, right? And they're looking for like evidence in the home of a criminal, which is absolutely legitimate. But I often feel like you do have the problem that once you do have a warrant or something like that, even if there's people who are absolutely not involved and they're not trying to get in your way, people are just like incredibly aggressive and rude with you, despite you being as cooperative as you can be. And I've had that, like, been told, like, I mean, I haven't experienced on my own, but I've been told that stuff with friends and with and I've seen it in public spaces partially, so right? I mean, I'm certain it's not like that everywhere, but I do feel sometimes it's just way too abrasive of a behavior sometimes. And right, I mean, imagine how you feel as a family there. You haven't done anything wrong, right? And you are maybe, in this case, you belong to a group which is kind of a minority, which is looked down upon by some of the citizens. And being associated more with criminality, and then people come into your home, they're like, okay, I got a search warrant, and you're trying to be like, you're shocked, of course, but you're like, okay, I guess, right? Like, whatever, can I look at it, please? And I just shove you out of the way, and they're like, get the fuck out of here, right? We're doing our job. Let's do this. I'm like, dude, the guy who was like, he's already dead, right? At least be a little bit courteous to people. Tenma want them, thank you.
私は行かなきゃならない。
ミランは本当に死んじゃったの？
ミランは私らのために死んだ。
Don't feel guilty.
肉親をチャペックに殺された。私らのために復讐しようとして殺された。
One thing, revenge often causes a lot more damage than it does good. If it even does any good.
復讐だ。
ダメだ。そんなこと考えちゃダメだ。
だってミランは
そんなこと望んじゃいない。
Bless you, Tenma. Bless you.
復讐は復讐を呼ぶ。何度でも繰り返される。ミランは君たちにそんな考えを持ってほしくなかったんだ。誰かがそれを止めなきゃいけない。ミランはこれで最後にしようとしたんだ。ミランの本当の望みは何だった？
みんなの故郷を見て歩くこと。
Yes.
たくさん勉強するんだ。いつかその夢は叶う。
It makes me really emotional because it's true.
お世話になりました、ムスタファさん。
In the end, I mean, hurting other people only leads to more hurt in the world.
おいしい料理をありがとう。
ドクターテンマ、あなたまさか。
He can't answer that because he has a guilty conscience himself. Conscience. Because he knows what he's gonna do is not really moral, but...
どうやらミラン・コラーシュが狙ったのはこのチャペックのようだな。
At least they found that out.
事情聴取を。
警部、カイザーホテルで極右組織の幹部、通称赤ん坊が殺されました。
Tenma's like, holy shit. A lot of police around right now.
私が止めなきゃならない。
This is not where Johan is right now, is it?
ペトル・チャペックと何度もこのホテルを出入りしていた青年。あれが悪魔の弟子。
Oh yeah, because like he actually told him. Martin told him.
あの車の後。
Bro, how many times has he said that? Follow that car. Yes, sir. What is this floor? Holy. That is squeaky clean.
Johan. いるのかい? Johan.
He's not. I don't know, this bro feels like he's just pretending too much to be Johan, kinda.
どこ行ってたんだい? Johan. あなたは確かエヴァ。
どこにいるの?
I didn't expect that.
ヨハンは今どこにいるの?
I didn't expect that. Okay, Ava. Interesting play. Everybody's on the prowl. Did he fall asleep or is he dead? I mean, I'm suspecting the latter, but...
さあおいで怖くないからおい
待て止まれ
He's already dead.
どっち
Oh no!
ヨハンか妹か今となってはどちらでも同じかヨハンは私を生かしておいた私を殺すのは妹だから
Are you, Nina?
すべては計画通り誰の
Yeah, I mean, that was always the question.
ヨハンの一体誰の計画
Maybe it's no one's plan in the end.
早く私を殺せ
Need information.
ここに来たのね。どこへ行ったの？連れて行って。ヨハンは今どこにいるの?
Halfway point only. Holy.
真っ暗だ。怖いよ。
Is that the girl from last time or is it?
早く出たいよ。
No, this is like a...
もし今出たら
Oh, multiple people.
まだ続いてるのかな?
殺し合い。
The Red Rose Mansion. And Ava.
私が引き合わせなければ、あのパーティー会場で、あなたとあの悪魔を。あんなことをしなければ、マルティンは
He is surprised.
済んだのよ。
わかった。ちょっと待って。
ヨハンはどこ？
知らないよ。僕も知りたいぐらいだ。冷静になって。
2週間、このアパルトマンを見張ったわ。彼は現れなかった。他に彼の居場所はどこ？
だから知らないって言ってるだろう。本当に。
He's trying to play his angle. Ooh. Holy shit.
私は本気よ。
Yeah, I mean, I suspected he could just pull the trigger.
意味じゃ済まないわ。クリストフ・ジーバーニッヒ。
Christoph.
調べたわ。あんたのことは。あんたの父親、死んだエルネストは、調べなくても知ってるけどね。フランクフルト、いえ、ドイツ屈指のジーバーニッヒ財閥のことならね。まさか、あんたがあの財閥の御曹司とはね。ペトル・チャペックは、あんたとヨハンを引き合わせて、何をしようとしているの？
血がこんなに出てるよ。手当てさせてよ。
何が始まるの？あんたとあの悪魔を私が引き合わせたことで。
違うよ。
何が違うの？
チャペックは自分が僕らを合わせたと思ってるけど、僕とヨハンはずっと昔から知り合いなんだ。
何ですって？
Yeah.
チャペックは知らないんだ。
He never knew.
僕らが10年以上も前に東ベルリンで友達だったなんて。
10年以上前、東ベルリンで。
僕がジーバーニッヒの養子なんだ。養子といっても闇で斡旋業者に売られただけだけどね。
Okay.
僕とヨハンが知り合ったのは
Ooh, Kinderheim. Okay. I suspected that, but yeah. I mean, when he said that.
511。
僕らはあそこで知り合った。生き残ったんだ。彼と
Survived it together.
生き残ったんだ。
Somehow he always pulls these people out.
怖いよ。
お腹も空いたよ。おしっこもしたいよ。
殺し合いは終わったのかな。
みんな死んじゃったのかな。
外へ出てみようよ。大丈夫だよ。もう外は静かになったじゃないか。
Ooh, and they got killed and he didn't. Why? How?
こんな中にいる方がおかしくなるよ。
He's a... Okay, he manipulates them into looking and he's just like, okay, yeah, we'll just stay.
大丈夫だったら戻ってきて教えてくれ。
なぜだかわからないが、その日511キンダーハイムの全員がおかしくなった。子供たちだけでなく教官までもが殺し合いを。
The green lighting, really cool.
戻ってこないね。
あいつ逃げたんだ。僕たちを置いて逃げたんだよ。
そんな。
一人だけ助かろうとして。
そうかな。
嘘だと思うなら見てこいよ。きっと今頃あったかい食事にありついてるぞ、あいつ。
あったかい食事。ちょっとだけ見てくるよ。
This dude, oh, this bastard.
お前は裏切るような真似はしないよな。
もちろんだよ。
そいつもそれっきり戻ってこなかった。
Send everybody else first. That is kind of cowardly, but yeah, clever of course.
僕は空腹と喉の渇きの中、浅い眠りを繰り返した。
I mean, he could, like, there's a sink, he could probably drink water at least.
このまま死ぬのかな。
そこには彼が立っていた。
君と僕だけだ。僕には計画があるんだ。
So soft.
それが
So persuasive.
チャベックが自分の計画だなんて言ってるのはお笑いさ。僕ら子供の頃に散々話したんだ。
何よ？彼の計画って何？
聞きたいかい？それはね。
All it took was a little bit distraction.
ダメだよ。耳なんか打っちゃダメだよ。政治家になるには顔は命なんだよ。ダメだよ。
Okay, what's gonna happen here?
そうだろう。
He's way too gloating.
世界を僕のものにするんだ。そうだろう。どうするんだよこの耳。ダメだよ。計画の邪魔しちゃダメだよ。銃を捨てろ。
Oh, he's gonna pull the trigger. Mm-hmm. Alright, Kenzo saves Eva once again. Holy shit. So that's his plan too.
妹は私を殺すだろうと。なぜ私を殺さない？記憶はすべて取り戻したのか？ならばなぜ殺さない？
We haven't though. I wanna know. I love the shading.
怒りと悲しみが溢れているんだろう。
私たちは知ってるんでしょう。
聞いたことはある。お前たち双子がどうやって生まれたか。
How? Of course, of course. Even more mystery, I love it. Alright, let's see. New person. Okay, that is, I guess, Nina's mother, right? Nina and Johan's mother. And welcome home. Alright, let's run it back. Okay. I just had a thought. Bold assumption, right? I know, bold assumption, but Johan doesn't have a plan. Yeah, I know, crazy. I don't know how I'm thinking that, right? Johan doesn't have a plan. Let me cook, okay? Here's the thing. Johan always seems like he's like 3 steps ahead of you and he knows everything and he does everything and whatever. But like, I think there are things in the equation that Johan doesn't even know they're happening, right? Including like some parts with Tenma. Obviously, whenever Tenma gets close to Johan, and because Tenma is so hell-bent on Johan, it's easier to predict him, because whenever Johan does something, and he's very prolific, obviously Tenma's gonna follow, and then he's gonna be easier to track and easier to predict. And the same goes for most other people, because like all of these other people are kind of orbiting Johan out of self-interest, or out of like a desire to control him, or out of any kind of motive, right? A motive to kill him, as in Tenma, Nina, potentially, but more like, right, I need to stop him, but also I want to find out about myself, blah blah blah. I think Johan uses that fact very, very well for himself. Which means that whenever he is part of a big event, he is getting rid of evidence, he's getting rid of people who could stab him in the back, he's getting rid of people he doesn't need anymore, and he's gaining new allies. But I don't think he has a grand plan. He's coordinating with some people, right? He's got some organizations that are kind of like loyal to him, or semi-loyal, and think they're using him maybe, but in reality he's kind of using them, right? He's always very strategic, and he's aware of what the people around him, like what they are doing, at least when it's relevant what they are doing. I think he doesn't have like a grand plan. I think he is ballin'. And I think he's very good at ballin'. He's very good at adaptability. He's very good at like improv and adapting to the moment and turning everything to his advantage and manipulating everybody he meets to his advantage, be that manipulating them to do terrible things to other people that could be useful for him, or manipulating them to think they can control him, manipulating them to be afraid of him, or manipulating them to fight amongst one another, or manipulate them to actually like him and think he wants the best for them, or shows them a vision of the future that they want to see, right? Roberto is like an absolute fanboy. Our boy, whatchamacallhim, forgot his name again. Not that important. Mr. Young, rich boy that Ava almost killed. He's one of those fanboys. We do have Chopek, who thinks he can control him, much like the baby who thought he could do that, much like Wolf, more like being afraid of him kind of deal and trying to kind of contain him. Then we have people like Tenma and Nina that are following him with their own motives and think they can maybe eventually stop him, right? All of these people, they're orbiting, and he uses the chaos, right? Because there's all of these factions. Right, I can play that faction against that faction, I can play that one against that one, can use that one to my advantage, then cut them off, right? Just a little hint there, a little bit of manipulation there, a little bit soft-spoken threats over there, and a little bit of like just sweet whispering nothings. Johan is an absolute genius at that, but I don't think he has a grand plan where he's like, he has his chessboard and he's like, okay, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do that. No, he's just winging it. He's like, all right, what can I use right now? This and that, whatever, right? And his main goal? I don't know. I think his main goal in the beginning was just acting out his fantasies, right? And protecting Nina, right? As a child, protecting Nina, acting out his urges. When he grew up, getting an organization under him, getting influence, managing to get into a position where he can't be caught for his crimes, where people connected to his past disappear when he doesn't need them anymore, where people are right there to do his bidding on all sides and everywhere, and where he can get to as much information as possible, because then we start with the monster inside of me has gotten so big. And what does he want? He wants to find out where the monster came from, and he will eventually, through Nina, through all of that research, through Tenma, and through the Red Rose Mansion when he eventually lands there. And also through accident, right? He reads that in the library in Munich, and he's like, right, he's got a trauma shock, right? He's got like, he's remembering these things, and he's like, shit, I need to go there to find out what exactly happened and what the truth is and whatever. And he has his like reunion with his mother, basically, right? He burns it all down, burns down the evidence, burns down his past, lays waste to everything that made him basically the way he is today. And now he's going after the person who's responsible for the monster inside, because he suspects he might still be alive. And then he finds out, shit, he is alive. So the monster inside of me is actually not inside of me anymore. It is something I can put onto an external cause. It's not something that's eating at me from the inside and controlling me. It's something that I just put an external locust on, which means if I can get to that external locust, I can control it, or I can kill it, eliminate it, right? And then maybe the monster is still there, but the processing might be different, right? Like, might have processed like events of the past in different ways and understand myself better, and eliminated everything that had to do with that. So now he's free to decide, what do I want to do? What do I feel like doing? Because he's fully in control most of the time. But only because he's such an adaptable animal, right? He's been raised to be so adaptable, to be charming, to be manipulative, to be hard to catch, to be really, really good and intelligent, and all of these things. So I do think he's winging it. That is my theory. And he's using all of these things: threats, fear, leaving out information, being silent at the right moments, just not saying anything, and then let the people fill in the gaps, think what they want to think, blurt out what they're thinking, right? And then you already got a new lead and you're like, okay, I can use that to my advantage, right? If I make them believe that's actually the case, or if I dissuade them and say, oh, I know that's not the case, it's actually like this, right? He doesn't even have to do much, right? Because human thought, human cognition does it for him. I love this. I love this. What I don't love is the mystery. We have so much like just mystery teasing. These bodyguards are incredibly naive. Going in, they're like, okay, there's gonna be a routine thing, and she's holy shit, Nina being cool again, coming out with the trench coat, with the gun. She's like, you don't move. I'm calling. Oh yeah, I'm the captain now. I was like a little bit nervous because she kept focusing on him and talking to him, and our camera was pointing at him. So it's like, right, her face is directed at him. So in the periphery, the other guy could have actually tried to wring the gun out of her hands. So it's like, oh, right? But she's like, you know, get me to him. I want to know. Tenma is a saint, honestly. Tenma is an actual saint. I mean, he's a stupid baka sometimes, but he's an actual saint. Trying to redirect the kid's pain into wishes and dreams, right? Instead of like revenge and anger and sadness. Where we have like, what would, right? Like you're missing somebody who's very important to you, and you're hurting because they're dead, and then he's like, no, don't focus on like revenge, because revenge begets more revenge, right? You put oil into a fire, it's getting bigger, it's not getting smaller. So what you're doing is you focus on what he would have liked for you to do, and what he would have liked you, like what life he would have liked you to lead, which is a life that is happy and satisfied and successful, where you're free of discrimination, where you can make your own decision and are as free as you can be in this society, and where you have the means to fulfill your dreams, right? And maybe go traveling together for him, right? And I do love that, because he's gotten to know these people enough to actually not just put out some hollow phrases, but to actually get to the core of what they would accept as the truth as well, right? Because that is very important, be that in therapy, be that in just personal relationships, that if you want to get somebody to go down a path or not go down a path that you think would be destructive for them, the best thing you can do is try to find arguments that they themselves would accept, right? That they themselves see as the truth, see as like it makes sense to them, right? They're like, yes, this is what he would have wanted. Unfortunately, the adults know that look on his face, and they're asking him, you're not going to do the same, are you? And Tenma, although it's not exactly the same, Tenma can't answer that, because he's like, I kind of know I do. And maybe I'll not get out of this alive, but I do not have people that would mourn me as much as they would the doctor. But that's where he's wrong, and I talked about that multiple times. There are enough people who would mourn him. Even though he's not there that much for them right now, he was there in crucial moments, and they have gotten to really appreciate and like him, and they would be very sad if they heard that he died, or that he's gone to prison. Either way, Tenma's smart. Follow that car for the 20th time, but it actually led him to a really good position to actually save Ava. That floor is so shiny. Like that's a rich floor. Holy shit. Their Prozess. I think their Prozess is by like. Let me just. I need to do that like. Just a little signal for the camera that I'm doing some research. Der Prozess is, I think, a book, which is by Kafka. Yes, exactly, Kafka. I wasn't sure it was Kafka, but yeah. It's a very interesting book, really. Yeah, and it's actually interesting. I didn't know it was like it was published after he already had died. Very, very interesting. What is it about again? The Trial, exactly, The Trial. It's called The Trial. And it's a novel by Franz Kafka. On the morning of his 30th birthday, Joseph K., the chief clerk of a bank, is unexpectedly arrested by two agents from an unidentified agency for an unspecified crime. The agents discuss the situation with Joseph in the unoccupied room and his fellow lodger, Fräulein Bürstner, in the unexplained presence of three junior clerks from Joseph's bank. Joseph is not imprisoned, but left free to go about his business. His landlady tries to console him about the trial. He visits Bürstner to explain the events and then harasses her by kissing her without consent. Joseph, interesting. Summoned to court. Very interesting, yeah. So there's like some very interesting literature in his bookshelf here. What is the other one? Put it back on the screen. Roto? Something. I can't read that. It's too, like, it's too soft. Yeah, I can't make out the other one, but the trial is actually one of them. But he doesn't take that one out. He takes another one out. You wonder which one that is. Bro is expecting Johan, and then Ava comes in and he's like, surprise, bitch. Surprise. Love that. How we're going around the corner. That's a really cool shot, right? We're showing like the room, and then we have like that corner, and then the zoom in, and he's like looking back and surprised, and we're like, oh, it's somebody else. Which we already expected, of course. And here we think he's dead, right? We're like, okay, Johan killed him, but no, he left him alive, and he's just absolutely, he's done with the world, supposedly, apparently. I love some of these shots, right? Like the Nina towering with the gun pointed downwards, but shaking. Like the grooves around his eyes here are being just, yeah, I mean, the emotion is palpable here in some of these shots. And then we have these little flashes of his, of his backstory. Right. The party, the demon meeting, but they had known each other for a long time. Then he's trying to negotiate. He's trying like, hey, calm down, right? You're gonna be okay in this situation. And he just shoots him. She's like, I mean, I would have expected that. Christoph, that's his name, Christoph. Interesting way to write Christoph, because that's not, I think that's not the German name to write it, but yeah. Known each other for quite some time. Berlin 511 Kinderheim. When he said we know each other for quite some time, 10 years, and I was like, okay, that has to be like Kinderheim or a little bit after. But yeah. Bro is just sending everybody out. He's like, they can die for me. I'll just wait. Is he the coward now or is the clever one? Maybe he's both, right? Like, I mean, cowardice or like fear. They are functional, as I keep saying, right? There is a function to fear. There's a reason why we are afraid of things. I mean, sometimes it doesn't help us because, yeah, there is risk and maybe we should be a little bit afraid, but yeah, sometimes you just gotta risk it. Because if you don't risk anything, oftentimes there's nothing that you can gain from a situation. But obviously, fear is important to tell us what situation could be dangerous. Sometimes the situation might not be dangerous at all, and we're still afraid, right? That's just like that's a dysfunctional application of fear. But it happens, right? Through experience, learning experiences, or like model learning, when we see parents being afraid of something that they shouldn't be afraid of, but then we take that up, we adopt it for ourselves because they are role models for us for a lot of our behaviors. Johan coming in, as always, soft-spoken, the hero, the angel, for those people who revere him. Incredible, that little moment of like not being, not paying too much attention, and the book comes out and she hesitates with the shot, and yeah, I mean, this is all it takes. And he's just absolutely unraveling because he's been shot, he's full of adrenaline, he's like angry at that. So he's like, what are we gonna do about my face? I'm gonna be a politician, I'm gonna lead this country, which absolute bullshit. Johan is gaslighting you so hard, Christoph. You wouldn't even know. But yeah, Tenma's looking at him. I love that shot where she's like looking upside down basically. And he's like, drop the weapon, but he raises it, and then it's over. Tenma shoots, because I know Tenma shot. Either he shot him dead, or he shot him somewhere like in the shoulder or whatever, and yeah. Johan told me, and we're in the car again. He's like, why didn't you kill me? And she doesn't know exactly, right? He's like, you've regained all your memories, right? You should have anger and like, yeah, us overflowing with hatred, anger, grief, probably related to the mother and whatnot, right? You know what we are, don't you? What we are, right? I've heard the story of, and she's like, wait, you don't know exactly? You, the twins, how you were born, right? Maybe she perks up at like the mentioning of the birth, right? Because like Japanese sentence structure is a little bit different, so maybe that's like the connotation here. But yeah, exciting for sure. I don't know where where it's going, but we'll see, right? We'll see. That was Monster episode 65, and it has been, as always, it has been a pleasure, and it's always great to see Tenma, Nina again, and to get deeper into the mystery, getting a little bit more like breadcrumbs of what Johan might want, and also everything is unraveling, and I love that. I love the chaos. I actually do. This is what makes this show sometimes really exciting, because I can just like spot patterns and possible things that are happening, personal motives, people are being like emotional, they're being afraid, they're being sad, they're being angry, all of these things. They evoke something in you, and if it's done well, as it is done here, with the direction, with the shots, the way we pan over, right? We show things from multiple angles. We are zooming in on people when it's appropriate. We are using focus pulls very, very well. Monster is a masterclass, and I'll keep saying that as long as I watch this series, and probably way after it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. Also consider maybe joining the Patreon. I do want to make the whole YouTube experience 90% ad-free. Probably gonna be like an entry and an exit ad when I reach a certain Patreon threshold. I'm not even close to that one. I kind of like, it peaked a little bit when I got like my arcane reactions, but it went down again. Doesn't matter, right? It's fine. But when I can make this a real like side hustle, a side job one day, then the YouTube experience will be 90% ad-free, maybe even 100%, depending on how much it goes up, right? So if you want to support this, feel free to do so. I would really appreciate it. It's very like, it's a very low barrier of entry of like one euro, which is like $1 something, right? Not that much, especially after like tariffs and whatnot. Now it's like it's pretty much the same at this point. I think last time I checked, at least, maybe it's changed again. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Until then.